All right, folks, we'll be talking about a certain Tayo B, okay? And the spouse name is Thelmo Lee. Okay, you know, the Tayo B and Lee thing, I don't know, it's Bruce Lee kind of names trying to come back again. Tell me I'm old school, or I don't know what I'm saying, but those are their names, and that's okay. So I'm just going to tell you a little bit about what happened. I'm sure you guys are looking at, hearing about the trending topic, what's going on. So there's this Tayo B, right? She owns a business, right? Doing well and everything in Lagos. And she employs, she was able to employ people to run the business for her. And according to her, she, treating them good. And that could be relative, because when you say treating somebody good or making sure they are fine is relative. But we're going to talk about that later. Okay? So she claims she treats them right, but she was disappointed after she now found out that the staff were robbing her of her profit, running down the business. Well, after she found out, she now involved the police, and the investigations are being made as we speak, and even arrests are already being made. Some of the staff are under the police custody and all of that stuff. So my point here is two things: loyalty and trust. So especially coming from where there's a lot of craziness going on. So in Nigeria, as you speak, the rate of employment is very low, and is what everybody talks about every day. So you will now find an opportunity where you are now employed to manage a business, or to be a staff, in running the business. And if truly what Thelmo Lee is claiming, that she treats them right, even personal issues, she ensures that everything's fine, so it should not be a distraction in the business for the staff and all of that good stuff. And at the end, this staff went behind and tried to run the business down. So my thing is, how do you show gratitude? How do you show loyalty or even trust in a business, especially in a situation that is so crazy? Gratitude, they just went ahead to see what opportunities they can have to do the PhD on the employer. You know what the PhD is, right? Pull him down. In this case, pull her down. So why would you want to do that? Very unfortunate, and I want to know what you guys think. Is it even morally justifiable in any way? Could it be out of greed? Or when the employer comes out and says, I'm treating my staff right, is she actually treating them right? Or the employees are actually greedy, selfish? Well, is it jealousy? Because I don't know. You tell me. What are we doing, Seth? I mean, it got my attention, and it was quite unfortunate hearing such, where, you cannot have loyalty, trust. And especially those in the diaspora, that they're thinking of having a business, in Nigeria, and the issue is always who to trust. So sometimes it's not about the distance. It's about the person that you think you can rely on, to take care of your business even while you're not around. So it's just unfortunate, because it's very discouraging. You don't even know who to employ these days. Is it your brother? Is it your sister? Or you want to give somebody an opportunity out there to earn a living, and at the end, hopefully that they comply and they make sure that the business booms. So it's actually trending online right now, and I thought I should just put it out there and let me get your opinion on it and see if truly, when an employer says, I'm treating you well as a staff, to me, I think it might be relative. Maybe the staff could say, you think you are treating me well, but you're not. At that point, doesn't make it better sense when the staff reaches out to make his or her complaints, so that there won't be less loyalty or less gratitude. All right, because this is not what happened in this case. It got so bad that they had to call police, and the police involved got some folks arrested. Let me get your take on this one. We'll be right back as you watch this video.
Oh yeah, talk now. How long has it been? I'm posting people now. If you don't start talking, I'm going to post it. I don't want to hear, please. How long have you been stealing from me? That's the money is for people should send it. You don't come. Oh yeah.
Nigeria, where you have no low employment capability and all kinds of craziness, you cannot afford anything. Cost of living is so high. You now have the opportunity of working with somebody, and you are biting the finger that is feeding you. Or could it be that the Tayo B is not actually treating them right? Maybe there's no good communication between the employer and the employee, Or could it be a case of jealousy? I mean, all sorts of stuff are going on. We don't really know the issue. But one thing I know is, if you are employed and you're not happy, take your time, look for an option, and leave. That's the only way. The other way is, if depending on the relationship you have, in this case, it seems that the employer, since she claims that she reaches out to them and even help them personally, blah, 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 there might be a good rapport, and that's an open door for the employee to lay complaints. I mean, that's the way I see it. But if you don't do any of those two, and you end up in that place, stealing from your boss, trying to destroy the business, which a lot of people do. And it's very, very bad. There's no trust, no loyalty, no respect, no fear of God. There are so many stories out there about how people you engage people, whether it's for business. I even have a personal one where I paid money to buy land, since 2020 until date. I've not seen anything. I'm asking for my money back, and it's all going crazy. I mean, you don't trust anybody. You don't even want to engage with anybody. And that is just against even the principles of how to succeed in life. But again, so how do you justify trust and loyalty in a working environment? Let me get your take as we move on. There's also this Amar Reginald. Amar Reginald is another person that, says a similar story where she employed one or two people, and they were actually ripping her off of her, business. Found out that one of the staff was doing that, got the person arrested. Turns out that the staff now, admitted to the fault, and she exposed the guy, and, she even said that she volunteered in helping this guy to get a better phone. Is it 20,000 or 300,000? That was personal. That was beyond just different from what the salary is. That's how she goes out of her way to ensure that the staff are fine. Only to find out that this same staff tried to destroy her business by stealing her money, the business money. In fact, she alleged that this guy was trying to start his own business selling Igbo, as in what do you call it? He was planning to start the business like that, using that woman's money. I mean, where is the gratitude? Where is the loyalty here? Why is it that in an economy that does not have a lot to offer the citizens at this point, somebody puts you there, maybe you are even a married person with children and all of that, to at least have some money to help yourself. Rather you sitting down, being loyal and putting in the hard work and everything, especially if the employer is actually, empathetic enough to even help you out personally, and you end up biting the finger that's feeding you. Let me get your take. Let me get what you think. I mean, how is it justifiable either way? Is it out of greed, or this person was not, thinks that the owner was not treating him right in some ways? Or, what could justify you biting the finger that fed you? Let me know. Let me get your take. Maybe I'm not saying it right, or maybe there's an opinion out there that can justify all of this as it's going on. And, let's get your comments and see how it is. Please kindly subscribe if you haven't. For those who have, we really do appreciate that you share and leave your comments and on this video. All right? Let me get your take on this one. Talk to you soon, folks. Bye-bye.
What are we doing, Seth?